Hello and welcome to the KBL Walk and Talk. So let's start off today just by showing you a shocking development. So basically this river, I've never seen it like with the water so low, and this part of the river there's nothing in there, there's nothing there, it's all dried out. And bloody people keep putting bloody litter in the river, it just ruins it. But yeah, it's still a beautiful spot though. Yeah, let's start off with happy birthday to America. 4 days ago it was the 4th of July. So America is now 249 years old, and most empires last for 250 years. So does that mean the USA has just got 1 year left of its empire? Because things are changing and America is declining, and it seems that's been the plan for quite a long time. They've sold out so many industries and moved so many jobs abroad. I mean, it's still the richest economy, it's still the biggest economy, but the standard of living, and even with the Moody's, I think it's the Moody's rating where it's been downgraded. So it was AAA before, I think it's AA now, I'll look it up after. But yeah, an interesting point to make on the formation of the USA. It was founded in 1776. It was the same year as the Illuminati was formed. And yeah, and what happened after that? I guess that's another one of the secret societies, like with the Freemasons, and then you got the Illuminati, the Knights Templar, Skull and Bones, which is basically both Bush Senior and Bush Junior are part of that, amongst a lot of other people. And yeah, so basically next year America will be 250 years old, and it's been declining in the States for quite a long time. Like their GDP has declined from last year. It was 2.8 I believe, and this year is going to be 1.5% of growth up to 2% of growth. Next year is going to be as low as 1.3, while China is increasing, and they're only 10 trillion behind the USA in total GDP, and their growth is going to be 5.7 this year, and it's going to go to 4.7 after that, up to 2030, which is the big plan, you know, the Great Reset, Agenda 2030, United Nations. So basically they said by 2030 you own nothing but you'll be happy. And they also said the world would be led by a coalition of different nations. I think it said, I can't remember if it's 11 or 13 different nations. So yeah, basically they couldn't destroy America from outside, so they had to do it from within. So basically they've sort of brought in the fentanyl and released that onto the street. So you got places like Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia, where everybody's just whacked out and they're on the opioids or the fentanyl stuff, and they blame the Vietnam. But who is it actually deals? Yeah, who actually puts it on the street? Who actually facilitates it? Because you know, like everything in it, it's like when they say about tax evasion and tax avoidance, it's like who makes the rules, who collects the taxes? So the people at the wheel are responsible, not other people, but they always try and deflect the blame onto others to cover themselves. So yeah, and on the 4th of July, the USA, well, Donald Trump especially being the president, he signed on the big beautiful bill, which is 3 Bs, so it's supposed to be 3 sixes, so the 666 deal. And it had to be like the bill had to be $3.3 trillion. You've got to get the 33 in there, the Masonic 33. So yeah, they signed that, and basically it means no regulation on AI for 10 years. So 10 years no regulation, so anything could happen. Probably that's their intention. And how can it not be regulated for 10 years so they could just do what they want and then make excuses, and then they'd be covered because it's not regulated? And they'd do the same as COVID. They say, we should have known better, we should have done this, but once the cat's out of the bag, it's too late. The damage is done. But yeah, they had signed that bill, so it's going to be more like more biometric, facial recognition, smart technology, smart surveillance. So basically, for Americans traveling around America, they're going to have more biometrics and be tracked more and have more controls over them. And then what else? Yeah, so the US debt level is 37 trillion, which is not possible to pay that back. And now with this new bill, it's going to push it beyond $40 trillion. So you imagine, like, a million's a big number as it is, and a billion's even bigger, and then trillion is a massive amount of money. And to be over 40 trillion with no chance of paying it back, and the world debt is something over 300 trillion. You know, this is to bring in the new economic system, so they need to break this current system to get it to debt levels which cannot be covered, which cannot be they can't even be serviced, I don't think, because it's going to get so high they're not even going to be able to meet the monthly payments. And where does the money go? Who is it owed to? They say the central banks. Who owns the central banks? Is it the Rothschilds by any chance? Hiding under the Bank for International Settlements based in Basel. But yeah, they need to get this digital infrastructure in. So they're already forcing people in Austria to sign up to the digital ID, or teachers, so the teachers can access the grading for the students, and then also for healthcare and other areas. And other EU nations will be pushing it as well, because they want to release central bank digital currency in October. And that's the whole point of this digital infrastructure, is basically to track and trace where you're going, track what you're spending. It's basically like an extra bandwidth, what do you call it, bandwidth, so they can put all the information all together. Because at the moment you can pay for something, so you can use a Swift payment. It can say location, time and the amount, but it can't it doesn't have the same power as the central bank digital currency. So with this, they're going to have a lot more reach and a lot more power to restrict everything. So yes, it's not good seeing the river all dried out. I've never seen it like this. It's a shame, it's quite beautiful. But it's still nice. It's nice growth around the river, and plenty of life. Because a lot of places have the soul sucked out of it now, so this is good to see. Not another clone town in the UK which is just bloody housing and then a Tesco Express or a Sainsbury's local or a bloody co-op. That's all they seem to have now. And then there's a bit of McDonald's in every town and bloody big supermarket, and not much room for nature. Yeah, also the USA is going to give Israel 510 million in arms, and this is on top of 3.3 billion that was given to Israel in 2022, and it'll be 17.9 billion they've given to Israel since 2023, just after October the 7th. So you've got American citizens struggling on the street, but they've always got money for Israel. Because when was Israel the 51st state? I can't remember it being added. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, and also they've also got these digital generals now. So Meta, Palantir have supplied a digital general, and also OpenAI. Oh yeah, Netanyahu has nominated Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. What's that, for helping with genocide? Basically, USA supplies the aid funding so Israel can do more bombing and more attacking. Yeah, great work. And also, what else? Yeah, that still continues. Yeah, and 104 people have lost their lives in a flood, in a flash flood in Texas. What is it with Texas? There's been quite a lot of weird weather incidents. It's like they're using weather weapons. Because I remember during the COVID stuff, didn't they get frozen out? I think they had all their pipes frozen because there was like a blast of cold weather. And they've had a few instances in Texas. Is it because they're one of the most rebellious states in the US? Probably the most rebellious state, let's say. Because they still have guns in Texas, and not every state has guns, or allowed to use guns. Even though it's supposed to be part of the Constitution to bear arms, but yeah, they're one of the most free, gun-loving states in America. But yeah, they keep picking on Texas. It's like Florida, isn't it? 'Cause that's another state that doesn't conform as much as... California seems to be the most conforming state, and then New York. And then what was it? Portland, what was it? Oregon, sorry. Portland's a city there, but yeah, it's most of the West Coast states, isn't it? And then New York. But yeah, moving on to the UK. So they want to have these diversity officers, so like woke police. So basically employers have to, I don't know if it's compulsory, like every company has to have them, or a certain size the company needs to be before they install them, but basically they're there to protect the employees from overhearing stuff that offends them. So it's basically another censorship mechanism to shut people up, to stop them like say anything against their woke agenda. But people are getting fed up with this now, and it's like they keep trying to use this woke smoke screen to basically censor people and get them to be on their side, because that's what they do, isn't it? It's like the devolved governments. It's just basically use Wales or Scotland because they like if Westminster says anything, they'd be like, oh no, that's rule from London. But if someone says it in Cardiff, in the Senedd, in the Welsh Senate, they'd be listening and they'd be up for it, because they're, I'm not saying all the Welsh, but there'd be a few who say, oh, I'm proud to be Welsh, but they're not realising like they're not serving the Welsh people. They're just basically tricking people into trusting them so they can still get their agenda through. So if it doesn't come directly from Westminster, it'll go through their parliament, and then it'll look more trustworthy. It's the same with Holyrood as well. The First Minister of Scotland put through legislation, and it'd be more acceptable than it coming from Westminster, so they trick people. And I'd say the devolution is really devaluing, because it's like you get promised all this money, but then with the devolved councils, like here in Lincolnshire, you've got a Greater Lincolnshire mayor, and the money is promised over 30 years, but it's still not a lot of money. And then you take into your equation inflation, and with inflation that money's going to become less and less. So that money over 30 years is not going to keep its value, is it? Because they're not taking into account inflation. So the costs will go up. But say you're getting 30 million, that 30 million is going to be like possibly 25 million or 15 million in value, because by the time you go to buy something years later, the costs have gone up, and the money you've been given is the same what you agreed to 30 years ago. So it's a massive con, and it's just a way to regionally control people even more, isn't it? And then they can bring in the smart cities. Basically you get reform coming now, and like people are trusting of reform because they've been let down so much by Conservatives and Labour. So they think the only option is to vote for reform, when reform are going to do everything they promise. But people keep falling for the same mistake. Promises are promises. It's not contract. It's not set in stone, and they're just basically telling you what they want you to hear. So they get into power, and then they will bloody do nothing. Or actually, they might do one or two things, but the majority of things they promise they're not going to do. Look at Farage. He's a liar. He said he would ban the burqa. He said about his mass immigration. Now he's gone back on a lot of his talks and a lot of statements he's made in the past, and it's like, and now they've got a new woke chairman who wants kids to learn sexual education at a really young age and learn about LGBT as well. And they're supposed to be against all this stuff, but no, they're just falling into the mainstream narrative, because that's the thing, isn't it? They get you through the door, get into power. They're all the same. And I think the only decent guy was Rupert Lowe, and that's why he got kicked out of the party, because he wanted to be legit and he wanted to actually make some changes, so they got rid of him. So that's the thing, as soon as someone wants to do something good, they would kick them out, they would discredit them, they would do anything to make sure they don't get to stay or get into it, wherever it is. It's the same with inventions. If someone invented a cure for cancer, he wouldn't be walking around for long. I mean, something would happen, he'd have an accident. They just won't allow it. There's been many cases of this. There's been many inventions and people trying to do the right thing, but they always get discredited, or they get definanced, or whatever, or they just get everything going against them, and it's not allowed to happen. So that's the thing, they don't just control majority of business, they control the banks, and then they control the oil, and then they control the governments, and then they control so many things and so many people. It's not even YouTube, they can buy out people just to discredit others. But yeah, so going off on one. What else? Yeah, the UK is in such a mess. Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer are really destroying this country, and the way they're going is going to be no pension, no money for anything, and they're taking it. They're going to take and take and take, and they get to the stage eventually where you're just going to go work and all your money's gone as soon as you finish your week or month, and then you get your paycheck, and it's all going to go, because they tax you on everything. They tax you on your shopping, they tax you on there's VAT taxes, you get taxed more on your capital gains, they pushed up the national insurance for employers, and then they're importing workers. Like there's Indian workers come here for 3 years, don't pay no national insurance, and then Indian businesses are not going to pay national insurance, but British businesses are going to have to pay it. And then you've got all these Deliveroo riders who are here illegally, have got no entitlement to work, but they're working, they're not paying anything for their hotel, they're not paying any taxes. That's all on us, and that's nothing I get sick and tired of. Stop using these companies. Anybody doing something illegal, don't use their businesses, don't fund them, don't encourage them to bring more people here. You're working against yourself, you're punching yourself in the face. Because every time you order from Deliveroo and it's a legal immigrant, you're literally punching yourself in the face, because you're allowing our taxes, and you're allowing like our house prices to go up, our hotel prices to go up because there's less hotels. It's just got to stop. And don't use the barbershops. We're doing money laundering, because you're encouraging more barbershops to open. And if people stop using these businesses, it would expose it more. It's like voting. If you stop voting, they would have to take notice. You know, we can do things en masse. There's a lot of things we can do. We don't have to stay there and just put our heads in the sand and think like we can't make changes. We can make a lot of changes. We all need to do something, because this is like, this is your home, this is your life. If you do nothing, you can't moan later on, because it'd be too late to moan. When the damage is done, that'd be way too late then. Because demographics of this country is changing, and I don't sound like, well, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say because I'm not going to play their game. Because that's the thing, it's all divide and conquer, it's all like order out of chaos. It's all bloody to label everyone who goes up against the system, anything you disagree with, it's racist or right wing. You know, screw them. Use your labels. It's pathetic, you know. Anti-Semitic every time you criticise Israel or Jews. It's like, if you do your research, they are behind the majority of the problems in the world. It's like, it's not me saying it, I didn't make that up. You can research it. Who declared war in Germany in 1933? You know, who stole the state of Palestine? Who attacked an American ship when they're supposed to be allies? What was it, US Liberty? There's all the crap they're behind. And why do they keep getting their people in positions like prime ministers and presidents in different countries when they're only a tiny minority of the world? It's like, it's just not possible without corruption, without them holding all the cards. But yeah, yeah, so it's, I can't remember if I mentioned, but UK is going to give 96 million to Syria. This is on top of all the money you give to Ukraine, because that's another country we're connected to. Or is that just from 2022 when all the brainwashing started? Basically saying, follow Ukraine, support Ukraine, it's got nothing to do with us. There's about 37 pubs shutting every week, so if they bring in these diversity officers, and it's going to be bad for other businesses as well. And you can imagine if you like got to watch what you say everywhere you go, and it's like, are you going to visit these places? Because you might think it's not worth the risk, I'll just stay at home. So then that pub loses more money. But this is what they want. They don't care about people socialising, because that's the thing, isn't it? That's why they've done the lockdown, so people couldn't meet together and discuss what's going on. So they're allowed to pump out 24/7 propaganda and fear, and to pump that into people's brains, scare the crap out of old people. Intervention, when the medical intervention came along, people would take up the offer. So yeah, problem, reaction, solution. But yeah, and this government, they're talking about conscription, and at the same time they're importing thousands of people. The crossings this year has reached 20,000 in the first 6 months. That's up 48% from the year before. So they're getting housed and they're getting fed, they're getting taxis, they're allowed to work for all these food delivery companies. That's 8 million a day, over 400 hotels, all being paid by the taxpayer. They've got no right to be here, they've all lied. There's so many cases where they say they're gay and they're not gay, or they say they're at war when their country isn't even at war. It's like Albania. I've been there, it's quite a safe country. I like the Albanians, don't get me wrong, but they shouldn't be, none of them should be coming here claiming asylum. So in Pakistan, they're not at war. Why are they not sent back? You know, we've got all these grooming gangs and we've got all these areas, and they're like marrying their cousins. And that's why they have loads of problems, like with autism and all these issues. And I think they make up the most, injured children, behavioural issues with children in British hospitals now. But it's just beyond belief that all these things are allowed to happen. And they say they're going to get tough on it, they're going to stop the boats. No, they're not. It's just bullshitting everyone. They could stop it tomorrow. You know, when they remove all these leaders like Gaddafi, they just made things worse. War and terror, it's like you're causing the terror by bringing the people here, or allowing them to be here, allowing them entry into the country, because basically you pick them up in the sea and then you look after them. At the same time, you're screwing the old people here because they can't even get the winter allowance. So they're being screwed, but you're allowing someone who shouldn't even be here, who's lied on their application, and then they claim their asylum, and then they go back home for holidays. It's like, how is that possible? How is that allowed? And then when people do visas properly, you mess them about. The Home Office takes months or years to sort out applications when people do things legitimately, but people do something illegally, you push them in front of the queue, like for NHS treatment and GP surgeries, appointments and everything else. So in effect, if you're born in this country and you're a British citizen, you'll be third class. The immigrant who does everything properly, they'll be the second class. And then the illegal will be the first class, because they seem to get the best treatment out of all three groups. Even though they're the third, actually they should be third in line for any special treatment. Because it should be the natives first, then the residents from abroad who've settled here, got the right visas, they should be second. And then the third should be the illegal immigrants. They should be the last, not the first. It's just like beyond a joke, and these MPs just keep lying to people, reform and lying. They're not going to do anything. And if people wait till 2028, it's going to be way too late. You've already got cities like Leicester, Birmingham, Blackburn, where is it? Coventry, Manchester, all going to crap. And you're all becoming more Islamic. I don't have an issue with Islam, but I do when it's taking over areas. We shouldn't allow any other religion to dominate this country. Should be, yeah, we respect your religion, you can practice it, but we're not going to let you dominate. And this is what happens in a lot of countries. This is what happens in a lot of places, like France. You got French women being attacked in Paris, and they're Christians, and they're saying it's haram. It's like, for a start, they're not Islamic, they're Christian. You're the guest there, you come to that country, don't try and dominate and take over and put your values and your belief systems onto others. It's the same with the LGBT. If you're trans, that's your issue. Don't try and force other people to follow your ideology. But the authorities allow this because this is what they want. They want to confuse the hell out of people. They want useful idiots. So what they do, they bring in people. And this is why the Indian immigration is so high in Western countries, because they don't want the Chinese, because the Chinese will start businesses. The Chinese will do better in school and more intelligent. And the Chinese will marry Westerners. But the Indians, majority of them won't. They'll stick to their own. They'll stick to their same religion. They won't integrate as well as Europeans will integrate with other Europeans. And they make the perfect slave class. Is why they're like giving all this special treatment to move to Ireland and to UK, even though their passport's crap, even though their degrees are not very good. They're from very poor universities, not in wealth terms, but like grading system compared to other universities. Like say, if you say Boston, what is it, Harvard in Boston, and then you say Oxford, Cambridge, some of the best, Yale, Stanford in California, UCL, and all these, and what's it, Columbia University in New York. And but the Indian universities are way down. I don't know where they are in the ranking, but they're way down in the ranking compared to European. And I think the ones in Asia, the best ones are like Japan, China, some of the best universities. But yeah, they still get in. They still get the care jobs here. They just water down the requirements for them to get here because they want useful slaves, don't they? And they won't kick up a fuss about conditions and wages, so they bring them in. And it also makes it, like I said before, easier to abolish the nation state, because you're bringing in people who are not going to fight for that country. Also, they're going to lack compassion. So if it's in the healthcare sector, they're not going to be as compassionate as British nurses and same British carers. So they can get through their agenda more easily, can't they? Because if you've got no connections to the local people, it's not going to bother you too much to follow their agenda, isn't it? Because the local nurses and carers are not going to want to do all the stuff they want them to do. There. Yeah, there's going to be a police investigation launched into Bob Fillon and Kneecap. So what gets me about these groups is like, you got Bob Fillon, like I said before, he's probably, I don't know if his record label is a Zionist record label, but he's definitely pulling that anti-Semitic agenda to look after the special group of people, the men in small hats. But I don't care like what he said. Well, actually I do care about what he said, you're not getting your country back. And I thought that's bizarre, because he's like, thinking about it afterwards when someone mentioned it, he's mixed race, he's both white and black, or pink and brown. Because that's just the system they use, isn't it? I think that's divide and conquer, isn't it, when they say someone's black and someone's white. It's not actually true, is it? They've got brown skin. But there you go. Yeah, so he's been pulled out just basically to do the anti-Semitic agenda. And then Kneecap, I don't understand them at all. They're supposed to be pro-Irish, but then they're pro-immigration. It's like, how can you care about Ireland and be pro-Irish if you just want to let the whole world in and just welcome refugees wherever? They're another one. But yeah, a lot of these people, they're just sellouts anyway, aren't they? And they're just pushing agendas. What else was I going to say? Yeah, hopefully don't keep hearing about them in Glastonbury. I wouldn't bloody go to that festival. I don't want to be involved in any globalist bloody movement and then be stuck with loads of libtards. And that's the thing, isn't it? You've got these people protesting about capitalism and all this sort of stuff, and they don't really understand what they're even doing. And it's like, they support capitalism with that iPhone and everything they do. They sit in Starbucks and then they use all the big businesses, and then they go to university to be better than everybody else, but in their heads they think they're better. But all they're doing is reciting and just remembering facts in books and who are the books written by. And you know, you could do a business degree, but is the lecturer who's teaching the business degree, has he got a business? Because the majority of them, isn't it? Do they actually own a business? Have they actually had a business? Or is he just teaching from the book where he's been taught? Because they'll learn you enough to operate the machines, but they won't learn you enough to run the machines or own the machines. They don't want you to be too intelligent, which is why they dumb down people. That's why they pasteurised the milk, they fortified the cereal to take all the benefits out of everything. Why they give you medical interventions to basically push down your IQ. They put fluoride in the water to lower your IQ again. They do it all to basically to stop you thinking, to stop you critical thinking about anything. Oh yeah, I'm going to get onto these groups on Telegram. They keep banning me and blocking me and restricting me, and I got muted today, and all I'd done was crypto. It's like, it's just so annoying. It's like I got kicked off Off-Grid Island because I said Michael Collins could be a British agent, because he basically went into the negotiations for Ireland to be a free state, and he gave away the 6 counties, it's basically Northern Ireland. And I don't know if it's that actually, it might have been because I said Conor McGregor is a Zionist, and yeah, because there was a poll for who should be the next Irish president, and I said voting's a waste of time, and then I was banned. They were like, no reason, no message, nothing, just banned me, and I couldn't even message anybody in the group. So sly and pathetic. And then Yorkshire Lass, I've got banned on that group as well, because I said the white hats, I said all the Trump stuff, I said it's all a psyop, which it basically is. The white hats, it's the same with the blue hats and QAnon and was it Anonymous and is it Josh Rogan, what's the name, InfoWars, Alex Jones. I didn't mention all those, but I just said basically about Trump. and the white hats, and I got banned from there. No message, nothing. Can't message them. Today I got muted for 4 hours posting crypto. All I'd done was post the word crypto onto the stand in the park, UK and Ireland, and then I've been kicked out of other groups. It's just bloody annoying with people. It's like people are still not waking up. It's like Trump, why can't they see it? He's controlled opposition. That big beautiful bill is like 666, the 3Bs, and it's like Build Back Better, the 3Bs again. 3.3 trillion to 33, the highest level of Freemasonry. The Grand Master is 33rd degree Mason. And you got his Rockefeller connection, his buildings just across from Rockefeller in New York on 5th Avenue. His mum comes from Scotland. Is that the Masonic connection as well? Because the French Knights Templars escaped France and they went to Scotland where they got the Roslin Chapel. And then the Scottish Rites was formed there, I believe. And then they went over to North America. And you got the famous Sinclair family, which Justin Trudeau's part of, and is it Christaberg as well, and Vin Diesel, and Celine Dion, and Camilla Parker Bowles, because they're all the same bloodlines, all these royals and royal prime ministers and presidents. So. Even Starmer coming out saying he's Jewish today. And Zelensky's Jewish. They say Putin's part. Well, you can't be part Jewish because it's the faith, isn't it? It's not a race. So he's what was it? His grandmother is Jewish, I think. I think Einstein was Jewish. I think he's Ashkenazi. Probably Ashkenazi because he's quite up there, isn't he, on the academic side of things. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, so many people are not really awake who are supposed to be awake. It's like they still keep voting and they still believe in Trump, and it's like, come on, wake up. Stop doing the stuff you've done before. Stop using your card. Use cash. Use crypto. Even like people who say use cash, I think it's a tricky one, because like if you don't use cash then it's not private. But at the same time, the fiat money system is their system, so we need to stop using it, and we need to stop paying taxes, because that's funding all this terrorism and funding all the sponsorship of the illegal immigration. So that's another thing we need to stop. Yeah, we want to move on to solutions soon. But yeah, if you think of moving, just start looking into it. Renew your passport. See if you can get second citizenship through marriage, ancestry. Do you qualify in some other way? You can volunteer, you can do loads of visas. You don't need to be like a banker or businessman every time. You can even do like the nomad visas, and you can do volunteering, like in Thailand. You can volunteer, help in the slums or help with the dogs, you know, like stray dogs and things like that. You can do religious visas if you're into that. You can even do like destination visa Thailand, where you can basically do cooking classes, Muay Thai, with Thai kickboxing. And also some countries like Cambodia, you get a 1-year visa for a business visa. You don't need to have a business, you don't need to prove you've got a business, just pay $300, stay for a year. There's the Philippines, where you can get a 30-day entry visa on arrival, I believe, and then you just keep renewing it. I think you can keep renewing it for 3 years. There's no guarantee you're going to be able to stay that long. They might ask more questions the longer you're there, but it gives you a bit of time. I think Vietnam's got some good visas, but there's options. There's like, and also if you want to stay close to home but you don't want to move too far away, there's the Isle of Man, Jersey, Guernsey, Gibraltar, so like it's not as many options there because it's quite small, being more expensive because there's less available. Isle of Man looks like the best apart from the weather. Jersey looks more expensive. I've not really looked into it, but I think you just have one requirement to work. I think you've got to get the status. Guernsey, I think you got to rent a property or buy a property. I think I said this in the last video, but just a reminder. Yeah, and then South America, there's a lot of countries you can stay for 6 months. Georgia, in near Armenia, you can stay for a whole year. But yeah, it's just options. There's other places to live in England and the UK as well. Oh yeah, and Santander are going to take over TSB, so they bought out, or going to buy out TSB. So I think it's all going to be concluded by early 2026. And Santander has shut quite a few banks, like all the other banks. So what they're going to do when they take over TSB, obviously they're going to shut more branches. And that's the thing, their monopoly's getting bigger, isn't it? As these companies buy up the other companies, and you're going to get eventually, like you're going to have like in Resident Evil when you've got the Umbrella Corporation owning everything. And that's sort of what Amazon's doing, isn't it? Because Amazon's covering a lot of areas. Because there's still a lot to come with Amazon as well. I think they've probably got way bigger ambitions. So not just online shopping and streaming music and streaming TV and film. I think it's going to move into a lot more sectors as they become bigger and bigger. And then their monopoly will get bigger and bigger. But I have to wait and see. I know they're probably going to have most of their warehouses covered by AI and robotics in the next few years. And then they get rid of 99% of their staff. Same with the supermarkets. As soon as they can, they will get rid of staff. Or as soon as the technology becomes available, because they'll just get a robot to clean the aisles, they'll just get a robot to restock the shelves. And that's the thing, that's another reason you want to support all your supermarkets either, because they're just basically dictating what you can eat if you rely on them. And then they restrict you. It's like in Lidl, they had a restriction on eggs saying, oh, you can only buy 3 packets. But if I go to the butcher's, I can buy loads of eggs without no restrictions, so I'll do that. But it's up to people what they do. I do me, you can do you. I cancelled my Nectar card today because I don't want them getting my data anymore. I don't shop in Tesco, so they don't get my data. I want to wean myself off these big companies and basically help the small businesses. And I want to make new alliances, or not even new alliances, but new custom with new other companies. So I'm fed up helping these monopolies and out these big businesses, because a lot of people are screwing us and they're working against us. So the more we can do, the more we can unplug for them, the better. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Hope this has been good. Please subscribe, like, share, or like, share, subscribe, comment. I've got a Telegram group, the link's underneath. Yeah, if you like what I'm saying, please keep following. If you want to support me, I'll be grateful for any support. But even if you just like the videos and share them, I mean, that helps. Even commenting. So I just want to get it out there. I'm trying to bring more content. Sorry, bugs keep flying on me. It's just itchy. And yeah, I hope you're doing well and take care. All the best. Goodbye for now.